Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Success Starts with a Plan. And I'm here again with Renee, and we have an interesting topic for you guys because what has been happening, at least for myself in the past few weeks, is that I've been noticing a lot of individuals, a lot of people online, offline, myself included when I got started, confused, not sure what to do in where to get started, or you might have seen that there are too many tasks that you need to do, so it's overwhelming because there's a whole plan laid out for you, and we've laid out the plan for you, but you think there's where do I start first? How do I start this first? What do I do? How much do I absorb? What do I focus on a daily basis and stuff like that? So a lot of people will talk to you about marketers and their daily routine, stuff like that. Today we want to focus on what kind of tasks do you prioritize. What kind of tasks do you think is the important ones to do on a daily basis? And I know that for myself, this question comes up a lot of the times. Not only when I was new, definitely when I was new, because I had no idea. I was trying to one Facebook post here, one Instagram thing there, one YouTube video. It was all over the place. I didn't know exactly where to send people to, so I had four different links in each place because I wanted traffic, and I knew that I needed to get traffic. And you can imagine right now, just while I'm saying all this, how complicated it can be if you don't structure it, or don't rather have the right key elements to calm yourself down and then get started with. Recently, guys, just a little bit of a story. I got onto a call, actually a sales call, at my day job, and there was things going in so many awesome ways that I had to calm myself down, and I had to calm the other person down and say, let's take one step at a time. Let's start with this. And that's what we're going to be doing today in today's webinar. So Renee, you want to share a little bit about your struggles in the beginning as regarding this topic, and then we can get into maybe a little bit of what you see as important, what I see as important, and so forth.
Sure. So my struggles were exactly what you started to talk about, is that I was so gung-ho about getting started, but there was so much for me to learn. And I really was like, okay, really, where do I need to start? So luckily, because I was part of a community of people that, had been through this before, they helped me pinpoint specifically, okay, what do I need to do first? Number one, in anything that you're doing in online marketing, you have got to set up your system. If you're going to do any one task before you even promote anything, before you even go anywhere, put anything in social media, or if you buy traffic, you have got to have your system set up. So if you have not done that, if you're brand new and you haven't done that, that's your first task. Number one, go through the training that shows you exactly how to set up your system. Okay. After you do that, basically, and here's why I know that that's important, because yes, there were tons of things that I needed to learn, but I couldn't learn any of that stuff if I didn't have my system set up. Okay, because I knew that by having, and what was explained to me is that by having my system set up, that's the first step in learning. Okay, because each time you go through the different components, and depending on what system you have to follow those steps based on who you're following, and that type of thing. So if you're working with David, you're definitely going to follow his structure, which is pretty much the same. We all have the same basic structure, although we might have a few different components here and there, but the basics are the same. But until you get that set up, you're not going to start learning. Okay. So that is definitely number one. And you can definitely say more about that, but that's literally how I got started in my experience. And after I did that, then the learning started. Then the next process of, what's the next step came after that. But I definitely want to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, so like Renee said, I to got started, well, I try to take I try to use a shortcut, guys. Okay, and it failed on me pretty badly. This is just experience, and this is reality. Okay,
Yep.
why? Because I was on a tight budget, and stuff like that. And I know that you might be on one, so you're gonna look at Wix sites, Weebly sites, things that could help you. Okay, don't get me wrong; they're good tools, but you have to know something about marketing before you actually go in and use them. Okay, otherwise it's pointless. And now I understood a little bit about marketing, so I used them, but I saw the struggle. Okay, I saw the struggle when it came to building my list. I saw the struggle in not knowing how to organize things. So when Renee was talking about setting up her system, I was kind of using free methods. So I was putting together a system, and now you can imagine if somebody tells you this is your system, you can do it, and you can either not copy paste exactly, but model this kind of a system and see how it works for you. Instead of doing that, I had to set things up. I gave myself this trouble. Remember that, no one else. To set up everything piece by piece by piece, which took me weeks to actually do. Okay, with no real um, it was just my creativity, and I said, oh, this looks nice, and then I did that. It wasn't real marketing techniques that I was learning, and how to set things up, what made sense, and how to position things. Like if you have a website, you need to know how to position things in order for you to make it work for you. You can use it as a system, and that is just like we spoke about many times before, shops can be a system. So that was the way I was thinking about it. So I failed miserably at that, this thing. I really failed miserably at that. And then after that, I decided specifically to go ahead and actually do it in a different way and get a system myself. So get a marketing system and put things in place. But yes, I agree. That is the first place to start. Okay, set things up, because otherwise, what's the point? We always say you have to know your product or service, but if you don't know where to send the people to your product or service, then what's the point, right? What's the point? Uh, Today I was writing an email, and I structured it this way. You have your product or service, you have, right, that you are giving to people. You have a marketing system that automates the sales for you 24/7 and sells it by the best salesperson you have yourself. Okay, you know your product, but what does it do? It sells the product. And then you have people who are going to the marketing system to then sell the product. So your marketing system is key, or your system in itself is a key to actually be able to distribute things, to be able to talk to people. That's why YouTube can be used as a free strategy. Facebook can use it as a free traffic strategy. But where are you sending them to? Okay, even if you're building your following. Okay, now this is a very generic thing, has nothing to do with the system. But if you're building a following, you're using Facebook as a system, you're using Twitter as a system, you're using Instagram as a system. So you're bringing people to the system. So you have to set up your Facebook profile, you have to set up your Instagram profile. You see what we're talking about? It is step one. You can go on, Renee.
Oh, no, all I was saying is I wanted to reiterate, just because I say system doesn't necessarily mean it has to be, a specific marketing system. It could be setting up your Facebook profile, setting up a Facebook page. It could be, like you said, setting up Twitter, or setting up your schedule for, making posts and things like that. So that I just wanted to be clear, and I'm glad you said that, because that's what I mean by a system, and it could mean so many different things depending on who you're following and things like that. So go ahead.
Yeah, so that's where I think, like you said, they start. Now once that's in place, what in my opinion, I'm going to mention the main thing that I see as the main task that you should focus on, and then that gets divided into multiple, like, daily tasks that you have on a daily basis. And I think that's something that is super important. So as we said, step one, you finish, you set up your system, whatever kind of way you want. Either you build your following, to build a email list, to build a product base, buyers, whatever it is, you set up your system, right? Then, in my opinion, the next main aim is knowing how to market that system, which means bringing people and understanding how to get traffic to your system. Now, I'm saying this in a very generic way and a very broad way, according to you, how you have to focus on those traffic methods or strategies, whether it's free or paid or whatever, free or paid, basically, you will still focus 80% of your time on those strategies. So now broke it down to two things: setting up a system and sending traffic. Simple, right? Why is it so complicated though? Because one marketer is telling you YouTube is the place to be. Another marketer is telling you Facebook is the place to be. Another marketer is telling you Reddit is the place to be. Wherever, I don't know. I'm just naming different social media channels and places that you can get traffic from, and that confuses you because you don't know where to start, right? So you say, okay, I'm going to have one post on Twitter, one post on Instagram, one post on Facebook, one video on YouTube every single day. That's what, four things that you need to do every single day. You created four tasks for yourself every single day. Okay. Is it overwhelming? Yes. I'm just going to say yes. I would suggest to focus, if you, because that now you've done the main part, right? You know that the system is there. You will tweak it once you get. You need to have a number of people that go through the system in order for you to change it to make it better and stuff like that. In my opinion, at least minimum 100 people. Okay, just to tip out in giving you guys that number. I would suggest at least 100 people going through your system for you to get enough feedback on the numbers and statistics to tweak it and stuff like that. So that comes later, right? You finish it, you're done. You're sending people there. That's it. So I will focus on one specific task. Okay, if you can manage two, then do it, but don't overwhelm yourself and don't focus on what every single marketer is telling you what to do. Okay, or the next big thing, guys. Facebook was here. Facebook is still here. Facebook still generates leads, no matter how many people are saying Instagram is the best place to generate leads. Okay, same thing with YouTube. You will have other places. Same thing with solo ads. People are saying that's not going to be the best way, etc., etc., etc. Still works, right? It might not work in the same way as it did 5 years ago, but no one does, because we all get smarter as we go along. We become smart in marketing. The buyers become smarter. I mean, look at yourself and look at 2 generations past and see how the buying psychology has changed in day-to-day life. So I think that you need to understand that these strategies can always develop, and the competition or the way you deal with things might be different, but the traffic generation methods, which is getting people to your page or your system, remains the same. Okay, the strategies still remain the same. So I would focus on one or two maximum on a daily basis. So, for example, I personally would say and this is what I call income producing activities, because firstly, even if they don't produce you income now, they're going to produce you income in the future. Okay. Secondly, they are tangible, trackable, and you can actually measure and see how they perform. So these are kind of results. So if, for example, if you have actually I spoke a lot right now. I'm going to just let Renee talk, and then if there are other examples, I will get in, because I'm sure that we're on the same page with this. So
Yes. So no, number one, pick that strategy. Okay. So say you're going to do email marketing as your strategy. So your only job after you set up your system is getting email subscribers and introducing people and building up that subscriber list. Okay. So whether you choose your method as free ways by doing posts and making sure they're aware, some kind of message to you to get that to them, to get that link to whatever you're going to do, or get them to message you, or however you're going to do that you have got to get people every single day looking at your business opportunity or presentation or whatever it is that you're going to show them. Okay. If you're going to choose email marketing as that strategy, you can track that in different ways through your marketing system or the contacts that you have. If you're saying using a particular autoresponder, all of them have tracking mechanisms. So you can see, okay, I got 5 subscribers today. Okay. And in many times, you know exactly where those subscribers came from if you know how to track that kind of stuff. That is measurable. Okay. Your effort in getting people to do that is, maybe you did a social media post to do that, or maybe you bought traffic. Okay. However you choose that, you can track that. How many clicks did it take? Eventually, as David said, at least 100 people to see your presentation to get some kind of measurement results. Go with that, but you can track that. How many clicks did it take to get 100 people? Out of those 100 people, who actually put their email in? Okay. Out of those people, who opened the email? Out of those people, who actually, you know, engaged with you, replied to you, who actually signed up for something? Okay. Who actually paid you for a service? All of these things are trackable. The way that you actually do that every single day, I truly believe that if you keep some kind of tracking a graph, or have it tracked physically, those numbers are going to increase because you are focused on that. And that's all you should focus on. You shouldn't be focusing on what other people's numbers are, because that's not important to you. What's important to you is what your efforts are, and what you're doing, and what your subscribers are doing. Okay. In response to what you're doing. So every single day you should be tracking that. Every single day you should be doing those IPAs, or income producing activities, to get them to see that. Okay. You could do it with clicks. You could do it with your free methods, however you decide to do it, but you need to be doing it every single day, being consistent. Whether you use safe lists that sometimes we talk about, sometimes you can use a YouTube video, and you can put a tracking link on your YouTube video for whoever clicks on that and subscribes that way. So there's different ways to track it, but the thing is, you decide to do it every single day. I personally, for email marketing, as part of my strategy, yes, I show people every single day, but I also make it an effort on my part to send an email at least 5 times a week. That's my income producing activities. My consistent income producing activities is making sure, now that I have those people on that list, and even honestly, even if you don't have people on your list yet, you should still be doing those activities. And the reason why I say that is because you're just going to get better and better over time. So why not get started when you have nobody or a very few people, and then as you get better, as your list builds, you'll just get better at it. So those are, in my opinion, as far as email marketing, the income producing activities you need to do daily is doing it, number one, and tracking it every single day.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So I'm just going to make a short summary at the moment. We said step number one, obviously get your system in place, right? Then you have the daily activities. As far as you can see from what Renee is saying and what I'm saying, is she sends an email. So you send an email every single day as part of your income producing activities. Why? Because you're email marketing. If you're Facebook Messenger marketing and building your list that way, you send a message on Facebook every single day, Messenger every day. Okay. You have to understand that this is related to the marketing strategy that you are picking. Okay. So, second thing is, how do I get more emails? Okay, I'm going to start to use Facebook. So the second method, okay, this is just an example. I'm not saying you need to use that specific social media platform. No, just think about what you resonate with and try to master at least a couple of them. Okay, and when I say master, I said you measure that level of success, no one else. Okay, if you feel that you mastered it after getting 100 people in, great. I would not suggest it. Definitely a bigger number. You can have more conversions. You can see how things work. You can judge the platform. You would not post a similar video as you make on Facebook to YouTube, for example. Yes, you can post lives and stuff like that, but you go into doing a Facebook live that you might post as a YouTube video, because a lot of people make this mistake. They say, "Oh, I did a Facebook live. I'm gonna post it on YouTube." Great. do that. But the person who's doing the live, and Renee can attest to this. I know that I personally do it. I know in advance that I'm going to post this live because I'm going to give content here on YouTube. So automatically the way I say things changes, right? Because that live is going to get me interaction in that moment. And on YouTube, when I put it, take the video and put it there, it's going to get me a different kind of interaction because I kind of programmed it to be a part of the YouTube and not the Facebook, although the Facebook is still the interactive part, right? So you go in with that kind of a mindset behind it. You have to understand the strategies that you're doing. So second is, first, email your list every single day is one of the ways that you can, depending on your marketing strategy. Second is, how do you build traffic? You pick a social media platform. If you pick two, then make sure that there are three things on your list now, right? So you have email, you have YouTube, and you have Facebook, for example. Okay, three things, right? Be consistent in that, and that's it.
Can I
Don't.
add some? I'm sorry. Can I add something to what you were saying as far as the income producing activities? If you're going to choose like Facebook Live or YouTube or something like that, as opposed to like email marketing, can I add
Yeah,
something?
yeah, go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So one of the, and literally spoke with someone today about this very thing. So this person is brand new, just getting started. And she said to me, I've never made a video before and I don't even know what to say. I don't like how I look, that kind of thing. So if you're going to choose YouTube or Facebook Live as one of your strategies in getting subscribers or getting people to see your presentation, you've got to, number one, your focus needs to be getting over that fear.
Mhm.
Okay. So one of the things I suggested to her was what was suggested to me, and it totally worked. Okay. I basically gave her a 10-day video challenge. I said, you have got to, for 10 days straight, make a video or do Facebook Live, whatever you want to choose, and just do it. It doesn't matter what your topic is. And if you need help with topics, I can give you some. It doesn't matter how long it is. It could be 30 seconds. It doesn't really matter. The key is being consistent and getting over yourself. And doing a day like this, happened to be a female who was afraid to not who was afraid to get on camera if she wasn't wearing makeup. Okay. So I basically said, so choose a day to not wear makeup, just to get over it. Get over that hump that you're doing. Do it for 10 days in a row. And then you go on to the next step. That is actually an income producing activity because, number one, it's growing you, as it's building your confidence. And guess what, that is actually tracking of your success, because you can look back on those videos 3 months down the road and look at your improvement. That is actually measurable just in your posture. So I literally, I wanted to put that out there because I know that there's people watching this saying, okay, so yeah, make a video, make a post. I've never done it. So you've just got to get over it and just do it. And the same thing goes for if you're going to blog or make a post. If you've never done it before, you just got to do it. Do a 10-day challenge and make yourself do it every single day. And if you have to go down to what time every single day you need to do it, do that. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think both of us did the same similar thing. 2 years back, I spent the whole year just on Facebook Live, and it made a hell of a difference to how I speak today, how I evolve. Let's say, even for example, we're doing this webinar, how I'm engaging with you guys. So it does make a big difference in your growth, right? So, like we said, I'm gonna go a little bit into what Renee was focusing on in terms of, if you even pick one strategy, let me explain to you that there are many ways. Like, for example, you pick Facebook as a way to get those emails, right? You pick Facebook, you can say, I need a Facebook post per day. I want to have a live, and I want to do something funny every day. You're already giving yourself three tasks, okay? So your income producing activity is having those all three of those posts done in the day, so your focus changes completely. Okay, if you have a Facebook page, it gets a bit easier, Why does it get a bit easier on your Facebook page? Because you can schedule posts for the next day and stuff like that. So it does get a bit easier. But in general, you need to have those tasks set up. Okay. For example, with I'm going to give you Instagram as you know, as a traffic source just for a second, because I want you to understand, for everybody who thinks that it's, you know, oh my god, what are we going to do, how for a beginner it can be super complicated. Okay, and I'm going to break this down for you, because why? Now, income producing activity, right? I'm going to post on Instagram. Okay, great. You need to prepare the content, right? You need to write the post. Second, you need to have the right hashtags, a right mixture of hashtags that'll get you on the explorer page. How do I do that? You need to research. You see, the fourth task comes in, you need to research. Once you have that, you do that. Okay, fine, great, you posted it. Now, after that, you need to reply to the comments so that your engagement goes up. You need to make sure that you, and this is a growth strategy, guys. If you don't know how to grow your Instagram, then this you can use this. I'm currently doing it for some things, but sharing it right now. You pick a hashtag, and then after that, after you post it, you go to that specific explorer page of that hashtag and start to realistically engage with people who have less followers, not people who have most followers, but people who have less followers. Why people who have less followers? Because they will follow you back. Okay, so you authentically go check out their page, look at stuff. What does that take? Time. Okay, so you have to dedicate an hour, 2 hours to say, I'm going to focus on Instagram post marketing, I'm going to focus on Instagram pre-marketing, which basically means preparing your post. And then the post marketing is you engaging and trying to get more audience, and so that you organically grow. And it's a good thing, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing, but it is time consuming. So what happens with people when we get started, guys, as newbies, we want to do everything possible. But as you can see, it does get a bit complicated in how you complete it, right? So I'm just going to say that that's one way, but so each strategy you pick sometimes varies on how to do things. Once you finish that, what else would you focus on? For me personally, I close my computer and I go away and live my life, and that's the last income producing activity that I want to say. And I'm going to leave it to Renee to continue after that, because I've done the things that I need to do to get to attract, and now I have to let my system do its work as well.
I totally agree with you. Once you get to the point where you've done your tasks for that moment in time for that day, you should go live your life. Okay, because this, yes, in the very beginning it might be way more time consuming than what you're going to do on a daily basis, but remember that, because most people doing, a lot of people starting out doing this are have a full-time job or something, or a full-time commitment. It might not even be a job, but it could be a commitment to something. So you have got to give yourself time to actually live your life and be the parent that you are, or be the caregiver, or go do the volunteering that you do this for. There's a reason why you choose to have this type of business, and so you go do that. Because if you don't, if you continually don't make time for the things that you love and your passion, you're going to lose that focus. And I know it sounds weird, but if you only focus just on your income producing tasks, and you don't give yourself a, a chance to like be happy, you're gonna end up not being happy. Okay, so you're totally right on that. And I honestly don't have any more to say to that, because I know this is based this webinar is based on people who really need that structure. That's all you should be focusing on, to be honest. Don't overwhelm it and overcomplicate it like so many people do. Like I myself personally did. I did overwhelm myself. I tried to do way more that I could take on in the beginning, and I got frustrated. And it wasn't until I backed off and focused on specific things that I started to actually get some momentum. So that's what I recommend as far as income producing activities.
Yeah.
Truly, that's it.
Yeah, and the other thing that we were talking about in terms of tasks, and you should go and live your life, right? As I said, but If you are dedicated to learning more, to growing more, obviously there are other things that you can do. Okay, those are, but we have, we like Renee said, this is just for people who need this structure. The rest is you. I personally, okay, and this is just as an add-on for you guys. Health is something that I add to my daily routine. Okay, besides the health, I also educate myself. Okay, so knowledge is a very important part, whether it's mindset in the morning or whether it's actually training in the evening. This is exactly how I do it. Mindset in the morning, training in the evening. So I train my mind before I go to sleep. I train on skills. I may read something. I might do, refresher course or whatever it is that I have on my marketing, on my trading, whatever it is. And in the morning, it's just mindset, because that keeps the day going in such a way. So mindset and training, and that's it. Okay, those are extra things that you can do for yourself. Those are not a must. Those are sometimes, if you are not ready for it, you need to start doing the action so that you realize, oh, I do have time. Okay, because in the beginning, if you think you have time, you're not going to have time, and that's just coming out of experience. I thought I had time, I still
Mhm.
sometimes do, and I don't. Right, so finish the task, get that done, and then you have the time. Then you'll actually be able to measure your time and see, oh, I can dedicate this to having a webinar. Okay, once a week, I can dedicate my time to whatever X, thing. So that's what I wanted to conclude on, to be honest, because I think we focus on three things, three major things. That's it. Don't complicate your life. Keep it simple, and it starts to get successful the more you do it. Okay, it might be a longer process. Now, for example, if you want to start getting sales and stuff like that, you can go into the whole paid side, but it still has the same guidelines and foundation, guys. It has the same, whether it's free, which takes a little bit longer, or whether it's paid, it still has the same guidelines. You need to have those action steps, do it, and get away, right?
Yep. And I totally agree. I also throughout my day focus on the health part and the education. If you're a lifelong learner, that's only going to make your success better. So totally.
Cool. I'll just check if we have any questions, but I don't think so at the moment. Nope. So, guys, thank you for coming on and watching. It was a quick but intense one in this one. And I don't know if Renee, you have anything else to say?
No, have a phenomenal day. Go do your IPAs.
Exactly, guys. You have three tasks depending on what you're doing. So please go ahead and feel free to reach out to us, comment below in the video if in case you need anything. And links, as I mentioned, always are in the description of this video in case you want to reach to Renee, myself. There's also two of our other I would say internet marketing colleagues, or people that we know, that we trust, and we know that work in a specific manner ethically online. Rob's and Emma's YouTube links are in the description. In case you want to reach out to them as well if you know them. That's it from our side, and I guess we're going to see you on the next one.